It's race day, NYOA round 2. We are at the Berkshire Hills Roundup in Berkshire, New York, and this is Between the Trees.
So what'd you eat today?
Turkey sandwich. 2 eggs over easy and hash.
Mike Barone, what'd you eat today?
Peanut butter and jelly and scrambled eggs.
Chris, what'd you eat today?
Nothing.
You didn't have any food?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
That's the secret to a good race?
2 Mountain Dews and 3 bottles of water.
Just gonna send it. What'd you eat today?
Pasta salad.
Hey Guns, what'd you eat today?
I had a PBJ and a banana for lunch.
Kyle, what'd you eat today?
Trail mix. And a Miller Lite.
Disregard that energy drink that Kyle just mentioned, but let's get started with our lineup. Colin Markowski, his grandfather Ted turned 74 the day of this race. Happy birthday, Ted. There's an old guy, 43 years old, from Jordan, New York. And up next is the Frenchie, Brian Brockhart, from Quebec, Canada. He's age 36. Kyle Lawrence, we were just talking to him out of Rushville, New York. He's the oldest competitor in the class, age 49. Colton Harkness, got your name right this time, bud. Got a new profile picture too, age 32. He has a good race in this one. Jesse Madison, age 42, out of Beaver Dams, New York. Up next is Rich Dre, the oldest man to ever race NYOA, age 87 and farting dust the entire way. Justin Mills out of Boston, New York. Boston Chowder, 38 years old. New guy to the series, Frank Aquino. I've raced him a few times in the fall series, fast kid. Gonzonecki, age 38. He's got some issues in this race. Chris Keister, he has a good run in this one out of Middlebury Center, Pennsylvania, age 38. Bradley Streeter, he's a day rider. Don't know him, don't know his age. He's from Pennsylvania. Another old man, Dustin Carnes, welcome back to racing. He worked the first round, so he was our points leader going into this one. And last but not least, Mike Barone from BBR. Welcome to the show. He joins me on headset.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the start. My wife's on the sideline with the camera. And look at everybody go. I did my typical, I'm going to start in dead last, and that one bit me. Just a little bit. Where were you off the start, Mike?
I was actually pretty good. I think I got 4th off the start.
Yeah, there's a shot of you. And
actually 3rd. Oh, no, 4th. I was right.
Colin got you right there, but yeah. We got a shot of you from Dustin's camera back there. That bright FXR kit, look at it. It stands right out.
Oh, yeah.
I can read your number. I like it. In the upper right-hand corner, you're looking at the onboard camera. We're going to change that name as we change the camera for you. And as advertised on Wednesday night, this video, we're giving away $100 courtesy of Barone Boys Racing. And that $100 is going to be given to the first person that can answer 3 trivia questions. We're going to use photos. You have to answer what the photo is of, and you have to do it in the correct order they appear, and you have to do it first in the comments to win. What do you think of that idea?
I love it.
Well, you're putting up the money on this one.
Yes, sir.
So we appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Good luck to everybody who enters. You have to know your cross-country racing. That's all I'm going to say for right now. When the first picture appears, if you're a fan of cross-country racing, you should be able to figure it out. But the other pictures, if I give you an example, like I put up a picture of a race car, you can't just say, hey, that's a race car. If you see a number 3 on it, and you're a fan, you got to say, hey, that's Dale Earnhardt's race car. So you got to be specific with the photos that you're answering in the questions. There's Colton Harkness behind you.
Yeah, he was moving that day.
He did great this race.
He sure did.
He was, I don't know, 4th or 5th off the start, and he works his way up and stays there. So very impressive ride by Colton. I jump around from a lot of cameras. We have 5 guys wearing 2 cameras each. Mike Barone, Kyle Lawrence, Drew Campbell, Dan Guns Honacki and Dustin Carnes all have multiple cameras on. So we have 10 cameras on riders. We have Jimmer Eckhart wearing his camera on the sidelines, and my wife, the Kelly Cam, will be in the woods for a few shots.
So old Kyle Lawrence got the whole shot, didn't he?
He did. He did absolutely nothing with it. Here's our first clue. If you can answer correctly who that person is, you're one step closer to winning $100. And there is 3 pictures throughout this show, so stay tuned. You're going to have to find all 3 pictures. That was just the first of 3. All right. Guns getting passed by Chris Keister, leading everybody into the woods. Keister following Barone. Barone, you have a little mishap here. There's a tree.
Yeah.
You're supposed to go between the
not
trees.
supposed to do what I just did right there.
But it helped me. It slowed everybody up just enough where Jesse had to think about where he wanted to go. Gives me an inch.
And then he didn't like that you passed him.
No, he goes, hey, I just passed you. And I said, that's racing, bud.
Yeah. Welcome to cross country racing.
There you go. So we're trying to keep it between the trees. Thanks for tuning into the show. On board with Carnes right now. He's got 2 Hero 5s. They're a little bit older. Now, I use a Hero 5 for my rear view, and the stabilization isn't as good as the newer ones. On top of that, Carnes put his cameras in those waterproof cases, so it sounds like he's underwater through the entire race. So we're going to fix that one for the next race. We're going to put his cameras in some frames, so hopefully the audio is a little better coming from Dustin.
Oh, here we are with me.
I love your rear view because it's so stable. You've got a Hero 9 on the back.
Yeah, I got the 9 on the back and the front.
And Kyle mistakes you for me and says, oh, hey, Drew. He just saw that sweet FXR kit. I think there's only 2 of us out there, you and I, wearing FXR.
This section was a little tricky right here.
Yeah, I went hard right underneath this pine. I had to duck that branch. I felt like it gave me a few steps there on Drave, but you know, wasn't close enough to make that happen. We're looking back at the day rider. I believe that is Brad Streeter. And as you can see, the woman's national champ is already breathing down his neck. So the women's class starts right behind us, and I'm not so sure if they're in the right spot because I definitely know we are not in the right spot.
I gotta say, like the first race, I only saw one of the women's quads. This race, I saw quite a bit of them.
Much different layout than we saw at round 1. I feel like people were, the women were able to catch us much quicker.
Well,
this round than the opening round.
Yeah, and I gotta say this track was a real rough track. I personally felt there was no flow whatsoever to it.
Don't hold back. Let's not sugarcoat it. Give your honest opinion here because it's your microphone. You can say whatever you want, buddy.
Listen, I personally hated this track. There was no flow. It was so rough. I couldn't even barely keep my hands on the bars, no less ride. Yeah, and it was a rough. I had a real rough day today.
It was tiring, and you're gonna see in mostly Dustin's rear view. I'm not sure if he has image stabilization on his Hero 5 camera for his rear view, but there's a couple shots where it just shows how rough it is. And by rough, I'm referring to it's whooped out with a ton of braking bumps. Agreed?
Absolutely. And you could tell, like, I've raced this race 3 years in a row, and for the past 3 years, you can tell that the woods have never been touched, never been like reclaimed after a race.
Yeah.
You know, like if you go to Ditch Banger, you know what I mean, Mark Potter, he spends months after the race fixing the track with a bulldozer.
That's the benefit of having a promoter that's also a racer.
Yes, and this track just does not have that.
Yeah, you can see Drave getting out of the way, Hannah Hunter there, our national women's champ, as well as Gunn sneaking by, but then Riley Jurgis gets caught up behind him. Listen to her scream. She's just yelling at him. So we actually did look at this time code because we've heard that there was some complaints by the ladies that the 4x4 guys weren't moving quick enough. So time clock shows that she was stuck behind Guns for 30 seconds on a 1-lane downhill. and we cut back to Barone here. But at this point, Riley has gotten by. So we do try to yield to these faster classes as we would like those slower classes to yield to us. We try to treat others with the same respect. So please be patient with us, ladies. We're trying to get out of your way as soon as we can.
And I gotta say, you know what I mean? Here we are. We're in a train. Like, all of us are in a train going through the woods.
A freight train.
Yeah, and you know, she was screaming at me at one point behind me, and I'm like, I have nowhere to pull over and nowhere to go, and I'm not gonna pull over and let my whole class go behind me to let you go.
Does it sound a little something like this? Yeah. I got some new toys with
It
our
sounded
microphones.
exactly like that.
Yeah, we could add some laughter.
But yeah, I mean, you know, she was yelling at me. We're in a freight train. I'm not gonna stop, you know, a whole train. If I'm by myself, that's one thing. But I have my whole class in front of me, and we're going through the woods. I'm not gonna pull over for you at that point. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen.
Kyle Lawrence is going to give us a perfect demonstration of what happens when you pull over for the women's class. He actually loses 5 spots by just trying to be courteous.
I believe it.
What they need to realize is we're in a battle ourselves. We're in a line with our own class, and we're trying to make position on our own class. By moving over sometimes to allow a faster rider by, and what are we at? We're less than 10 minutes into a 2-hour race, maybe a 90-minute race for some people. When you have that little amount of time to work, we're still all bunched up. So we're just asking for patience from other classes as we try to show patience with the slower classes with us. Check out Guns' brand new camera. I left this in to show the viewer
how rough this track really is. It ruined his brand new camera.
It's he has a new GoPro 11 on his helmet. He also has a GoPro 11 on his rear, and the new one on his helmet, brand new, never used before. Image stabilization just crapped out 9 minutes into the race. It starts doing that weird blur thing on the back, and then when it doesn't have that blurry thing on the sides, excuse me, you can see that it's very shaky. There's no stabilization whatsoever. Yeah. So I'm limited on the times I show Guns' front camera, but he's part of the action, so I do cut to it every now and then. I apologize for that weird look, that weird effect that his camera is producing. Hopefully Guns can get that figured out for the next race.
Yeah, and you know, this track was so rough, and it's tough on these 4x4s. They're a big, you know, we're riding big quads. We're not riding sport quads. So on a track that's this rough, you know, the sport quads are way faster than us.
I feel like they can wheelie over things.
Yeah.
So they keep the front end light, and they force the rear end through a dip and put the quad into a wheelie. We don't have that luxury on a big heavy quad. We kind of have to slam the front end into holes just to power through them, and it kind of bites me later in this one. You can see it, you can hear it happen. I hit a ditch crossing pretty hard, and it ends my day. But for now, we're still on lap 1. We're 10.5 minutes into this race, and we're on board with Mike. He's following Brian out of Canada. You guys are passing 900 row Vet B guys right now, and in an absolute freight train. I mean, you guys are moving at a pretty good clip.
This is the. I remember this.
Yeah,
he takes a bad line.
Brian goes high. Now watch Brian's face. Yep. Watch him turn right here.
He
look
looks
at you
me and cuts me off and about to put me in. I was pissed.
And you lose position.
And I lost the position. Yeah. And I don't think that was a good move on his part.
No, that wasn't courteous racing. He got out of the race line. That was his fault for getting out of the race line, not yours. And then when he actually sees you and then deliberately cuts you off, he's actually cross angling the trail, if you will, so he had to put his machine sideways to your nose. And here's what I was talking about earlier. Kyle trying to get out of the way of the women's row. Bye Guns, bye Drave, bye Drew, and there goes the day rider.
I think that's Bradley Streeter.
Yeah, so right there, Kyle tried to do the right thing, be a gentleman, yield to the ladies class, and it bit him horribly.
Yeah. It's tough when you're in a train like this with your own class to let people by. You can't. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you're by yourself, it's one thing, but not when you're in a train with your own class.
So I'm bringing up this pack of 4 right now. We're following Dustin Carnes, leading Guns, leading Drave, and me taking up the rear. And behind me is Brad Streeter. So there's 5 of us in this freight train going through right now, and I kind of stay on this battle for a little bit because we do trade positions a few times in this 5-some we got going on. Trying to work our way up to you. You can see you're actually leading. Nope, we're on Guns' camera. Excuse me. Guns was leading Drave there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm ahead of these guys.
You are. You're up the track a little bit. If you look for landmarks in each camera shot from each rider, it kind of helps tell you where you are on the track.
Yeah.
And I understand to your average viewer who wasn't on the racetrack with us, it's not as easy, but most of the viewers, I think, are racers. That's why they're watching.
Oh, there it is, the old monkey quad.
I didn't quite get that blue to match, but I'm very pleased with that kit.
You know, it came out good. You did a nice job.
Yeah, I worked with Todd over at 725 Designs. Dustin gave me free reign to design him a kit this year. I'm glad he did because I had a lot of fun doing it. And he's a fan of that Tito's monkey. So
he sure is.
It sits right on his hood, leading the way.
He's even got shirts today, I see.
He does. Carnes Family Racing. Get yourself one.
I'm going to have to get one.
It's a cool shot from Lawrence, showing the sport quads chasing him down. Just a beautiful shot with these rear views. The stabilization on this camera really makes it look enjoyable and doesn't show the roughness of this racetrack. But like I said, some of the other cameras don't have that stabilization. We do get a chance to see just how bad this track gets.
Yeah, it was. This was a bad one, I gotta say. I was not happy.
You're just old. You got tired.
I am old too. That doesn't help.
We start racing at 2:30. You people tend to have dinner around 3:30 or 4. Matlock starts at 5, so I can understand why you're tired. You want
in bed by 6.
Yeah, you want to get home. Matlock, Murder She Wrote.
Yes, sir.
Oh, our second clue. Our second clue. And again, I don't want to say, oh, that's you know, I see it's a 2-stroke pipe. Don't tell me it's a 2-stroke. Nope, you got to be specific with that one, people. What was that picture of? Specifics. First one to answer in the comments correctly, all 3 in the correct order, you're going to win $100 courtesy of BBR. And what does BBR do? What do you guys do at Barone Boys Racing?
We do a lot. We do a lot. We build a couple of custom quads. We do everything. So, you know, servicing.
You did something for me for my exhaust.
I did some cerakoting. I do a lot of cerakoting. We do seat cover installs, graphic installs.
Anything cross-country quad related, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
You don't touch the dirt bikes, do you?
No,
too smart for
illegal.
That. Too smart for that. 4 wheels only.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you guys are looking for something from BBR, I have Mike's contact information in the description of this video. Reach out to him if you need any cerakoting, custom work, seat covers installed, graphics installed, anything that you just don't have time for. He's good with this stuff. He's been a racer for what, 25 years now?
Oh, started in what, 96, I think was the first time.
Yeah. So he's got tons of experience. If you're looking for anything, contact BBR. Today's video sponsor.
And here we are with me on camera here. My rear view.
Yeah, I think somebody was behind you, but the dust was ridiculous.
Yeah, it got pretty dusty in those fields. It was tough to see.
Yeah, about a minute ago, we were passing a sport quad there in the field, just a freight train of 4x4s kicking up a ton of dust. So hard to see.
Here's Kyle. I don't know where he is right now.
Just like the first video, I don't put up positions. It's a guesswork. We change positions so frequently on lap 1 to try to keep up and give you guys a constant update of who's running what position would be a logistical nightmare. So
here's old Carnes.
Let's just guesstimate.
I know I'm in front of Carnes here because he passed me on like the end of lap 2 maybe. He got me, or
and you can see
3.
Me and Drave, they're trying to sneak by Guns through an alternate lane, and Drave actually makes that pass, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to try to sneak one by too. And
here comes the old Skittle machine.
Guns just doesn't let me have it. He's a tough competitor. this is the rough shit from Dustin. Like,
Yeah.
look at just up, down, up, down, up. Just look at how bad that is.
This track was fucking
That's
brutal.
Yeah, that's a rough shot from rear view of Dustin Carnes that I was trying to refer to earlier, where his camera will show you just how bad this track gets. And it's not, 11 miles of it, but the sections that were whooped out and braking bumps and ruts and roots, they need to address those for the next season, because those trails are worked over.
I gotta disagree with you. I want to say at a 10.5 miles, about 10 of it was wrong.
Well,
and I gotta say too, these GoPro cameras do no justice.
no, they smooth everything.
Yeah, it looks so smooth. It looks like we're barely moving. It was like these sections right here.
Yeah, that outside rut was so deep. When Guns put his wheel in there, he tipped right over to the side. And I was like, holy crap.
And wait till we get to the hill climbs. Those hill climbs are ridiculous with the roots that were sticking out.
Well, let's not sugarcoat this. We're not flat track racers. We're not on a group.
This is cross country racing.
It's cross country racing. We're not on a groomed motocross track. We expect bumps, rocks, roots, ruts, all that. But there's a point where you got to at least take care of some sections.
I mean, you got tree roots that are sticking out that, I mean, they're pretty big. And so that we've been going over them for, I
years.
can't even guess how many years.
I started racing here in 18 or 19. Carnes get passed by Drave, and Honacki's still behind Carnes. I'm behind Honacki, and I try to make a move in this field section, pull right up next to him, cut low on him, but he throttles out, and I have to apologize to course workers here. I couldn't make this corner. There goes the sign.
What course workers?
Exactly. Where were the course workers?
There were I don't even think there were any.
Yeah, so we had some issues with this one, and we don't want to, bag on it too bad, because we do appreciate the promoters putting in the time, the effort, so that we have a place to go racing. These are suggestions we'd like to see improved upon. Just a little track room, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Back on board with Guns, you can see there that his stabilization is completely toast. He's got a brand new camera on there, 11, which should be like fly-by-wire, and it's like bouncing all over the place.
Well, Campbell took a weird line right there.
Yeah, that wasn't a good line because it
didn't help you.
No. But I'm trying to stay with Guns through here, and I felt good at this point. Like I felt like I could make moves and still climb my way up to the front. Wasn't feeling too tired or anything. I just have slight steering issue, which if you guys watch the channel, stay tuned, because Mike and I are going to be addressing my steering problem in the next video. Watch Guns. Nice little booter. He said on lap 3 he sent that one to the moon, and he had a lapper standing there who actually stood up and gave him an ovation. Fun little kicker in the middle of the track. I did not like this off-camber stuff right here.
And let's not. Guns is sick here in this race.
He's always sick.
He's got black lung.
He's the black lung.
And he's got hand, foot, mouth disease.
That's not a joke. He actually has hand, foot, mouth disease.
Yeah, he really does.
Oh, I wanted to point out this. That is actually Justin Mills on the ground. We don't know what happened. Justin doesn't wear a camera. And if you look downhill, you see Rich Drave stuck. I'm coming up a other line there. And we're actually going to cut back to Kyle Lawrence's camera. He's going to come back by the same group there, and we'll see Justin remounting his machine, but I'd like to know what happened there. Looks like Brad Streeter is in tow behind me, but here comes Kyle Lawrence up there. Justin Mills back on the quad. Now look at the rear view down to the right-hand side. You can see the spinning tires of Rich Drave right there. He's still kicking up dirt, trying to get out of there. He came through lap 1, Rich Drave, in 11th place. Look where he comes through on lap 2.
These hill sections were rough.
Tons of roots, and unless you had good tires, you were spinning most of the way up.
Yeah, like this off-camera section right here was nasty.
The guy on the right gets stopped right on the preferred line.
Yeah, and these cameras, they do it no justice.
Yeah.
No justice whatsoever.
Thank God for 4 shocks and power steering.
Yeah. And four-wheel drive.
4-wheel drive and 90 horsepower doesn't hurt either.
No, it doesn't.
We're picking back up with race action here. We see Guns make a move on Carnes through a rough section. Carnes actually tries to get him back through this muddy area. It just doesn't work. You don't have traction in that thick stuff.
No, it robs you.
Fortunately, there wasn't too much of that mud. We had some pretty dry weather leading up into this race, which you can see in the dust. So Guns gets around Carnes, and I really wanted to stay with Guns. I thought he was working his way to the front, and I was going to hitch a ride, and
sorry, look what you did to Dustin.
Sorry. I stop, I apologize, I wave, and he gives me the go. So I left. I talked to him after the race. That was my bad. I went into that corner too hot, just ran out of talent.
I can't believe you did that to him.
I know, he's such a nice guy. Dustin has never bumped me, ever. Never rolled me. I'm totally joking. He's giving it back to me, so maybe that was a little payback, Dustin. I dropped the hammer here trying to catch back up to Guns, which I do close the gap and I get back on his bumper, but I just couldn't get by him. I end up catching up to you.
Even these field sections were rough.
Yeah, and we drop back to Kyle Lawrence here. He's going past the same corner that Dustin just made a new outside line because of me. Kyle struggled with this one. He literally got our whole shot. By the end of turn 1, he was in second or third, and then here's a clue. That's our last clue. If you can name that picture,
you know, you know.
If you know, you know. You got to be a cross-country racing fan. If you know, you know. So you, at this point, have seen all 3 pictures for the contest giveaway for $100. We will pay you in cash at the next race. We will put $100 in your PayPal or Venmo account. I will send you a check to your grandmother's house if that's what you need. We're going to get you $100 if you are the first person to answer those 3 photo quizzes correctly in the comment section of this video, courtesy of Barone Boys Racing. Thank you, Mike.
Oh, you're welcome.
We're going to try to do this each round. We've got a different sponsor for the next few rounds. Each donated $100. So if you're liking the show, tune in every race, every week following a race, because I can't get these out very quickly. And we'll try to air them on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock every week following a race. So hit the notification bell on my channel. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. As soon as it's posted, you can watch and try to win the $100 giveaway. I don't know about you, but $100 is still a lot to me.
$100 is $100.
Usually covers your
That'll cover your whole day race.
yeah, it covers your entry fee and maybe a Keystone Light or a Jägermeister shot.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever your poison is. So we saw a few, well, we saw one pass going on there. It looked like Guns got by in that field section.
Yeah, I let Guns by because I look back.
Wait a minute. What'd you do?
I let him go.
Why? Are you intimidated by him? Is it the size of his arms?
No, it's just that, hey, I know that if I'm out there and somebody catches me, I'm obviously not as fast as them. So, Guns, we're buddies. I let him go. I know he's way faster than me, so I just let him go.
So are you saying you don't take this too seriously?
I try not to.
All right, well, you got a giant frickin' bag of Skittles coming up your tailpipe.
And I'm pretty sure I give you the opportunity to go.
I don't want.
But you said no.
I don't want the opportunity. Maybe I just want to ride with my friend.
Yeah, so we ride together a bit.
Hey, you want to go on a trail ride together?
Yeah.
Well, I just gave you the whoo-hoo. And
how many times did you almost blow that corner, ever, or no?
Not this year, but I've done it in years past.
Yeah. So here we go.
Yeah.
You go.
You're like, and I'm like, no, you go. Let's high five. Yeah,
let's high five. All right, I'll go. Fuck it.
We're gonna get shit on from the boys in that one. Why'd you guys stop? Why are you talking? This isn't coffee hour.
You see Bob Johnson out there? You gotta stop and say hello.
Here we go. I can hear the shit talk now. I don't care. This is round 2. I wanted to ride with my friend. I needed a little breather. Chasing down Guns was wearing me out. And when I caught up to you, I just wanted to ride with you. I wanted to have fun with my friend. I appreciate you pulling over and trying to offer me the spot, but I didn't earn it. And I certainly didn't want it because I was comfortable behind you. And it just gave me a breather.
Well, I mean, also by this point, I knew I was struggling that day.
Yeah, watch me blow this corner.
Tree. Oh, it looks like Smyrnadilla.
Don't say that word. We're not using that phrase anymore. It's an inside line. It's an inside line. The Chimmer Cam.
You got to do more of this, Cam.
It's so hard. Okay, I told you earlier. I got 10 cameras out there on riders. I got one camera out there on Jimmer. I'm talking. What are we at? Let's say I've got 20 hours of footage to go through. I gotta sync it all up.
I know, but Jimmer, he's the best.
So what I got from Jimmer from this race was a lot of walking through the woods and stuff. This was one of the few times he had a good shot on the side of the track with the 4x4 crew coming by. These 4E boys, they hike through the woods to cheer you on.
Yeah, they're the best. Yeah. They are really the best.
He's calling out the spots here, so let's listen to him cheer us on.
You're 6, let's go, Nick! 6, yeah.
Big Mike, the Flying Hornet, up next.
Your number 7 right there!
Go, right there, yeah. Yeah, he's 3 miles ahead of me, Jimmer. He's not right there. You're lying.
Yo, he lies every time.
Oh, we love you, Jimmer. Thank you for the support. Thank you.
They're
for
the best. Those 4 of you guys are the best.
Appreciate them wearing a camera. They are actually sponsoring one of these upcoming videos, so stay tuned in the race season. One of these is going to be brought to you by 4E Racing. Look at the wheelie! Oh! Drew Campbell getting on one tire. That 1000 has 90 horsepower, and I just found every pony of it. That thing almost came up and over on me.
So here's the end of the first lap.
Yes, sir. You're not doing too bad. You started 3rd, 4th. You're only in 7th right here.
Yeah, that's bad.
You're running a solid pace. We've got our leaders, our top 5. Markowski, the Frenchie, Broicart, I hope I'm saying that right. Harkness, Keister, and Aquino, your top 5. Mikey and I are running in the back of the pack.
Mid-pack.
Mid-pack. We'll be a little nicer. Honacki starting his 2nd lap here. He's entering the field section. He is, I didn't catch that time. Let's see if I have it in front of me.
I think Ray broke it.
Honacki was about 5 seconds in front of us.
What's old Carnesy saying right there?
So Carnes pulls up to his crew, which we love, Carnes Family Racing. You can see Lisa Chilsom standing there as well. He is letting that group know that Ray Chilsom could possibly have a wrist injury. I guess Ray had problems with his wrist. Dustin saw him on the side of the track holding it, thought he may have broken it, when in fact Ray just had a mechanical. He is actually fine, no broken bones. So we're happy to hear that. And look at you again, trying to just. I guess you don't like racing, huh?
I gotta be honest, this track beat me up bad.
Yeah, you're ready just to follow.
My ankle, I couldn't stand up. I'm just a mess.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you yielding to me, but you did a great job staying with me. I'm honest. I'm trying to put on the heat right here and get away from you and get up to guns again. It didn't work out too well for me, though. I have some issues coming up here in another mile or so. But for the meantime, we're just burning turns.
Yeah, this was fun, this little section. I like to follow people instead of lead people.
That's why I've been starting in the back.
Yeah. That's tough though, man. With a class this big, 14 guys this week.
That was the last time you'll see me do that this season.
Yeah,
I won't be going for whole shots, but I'll be going for mid-pack starts from here moving on.
That's tough.
Everybody's got acclimated. We're 2 races into 10 out of 10, and I can't give everybody a jump like that anymore.
Yeah, but you know, you got to remember this year, you know, thank God for NYOA splitting the class, doing what they did, but it's still tough because here I am 46 and the winner in our class is 19.
Yeah.
It's hard to compete with that. I can't compete with a 19-year-old.
It is. So the viewers watching at home that don't follow 4x4 cross-country racing, at the national level, they separate you into A, B, and C, as well as age. So there's abilities, and I'm going to be quiet here for a minute because this is my problem area, this creek crossing. Here, backfire. The second I hit that creek, something happened to the machine. Completely cut right out. I think it was on one cylinder. So you're very nice, concerned about what happened to me, and you actually stopped to check on me. We're kind of dealing with a tight area and some traffic. I'm trying to tell you, it's running on half the engine. These Can-Ams have V-twins, and it feels like one of my cylinders has just stopped working.
I don't know, it's running like shit. I think I'm only on one cylinder.
I was happy to stop because I needed a rest.
I need a breather.
And you passed me, so I'm going to let you go until, you know what I mean, until you say, hey.
Yeah, but as you can see right here, I pull off under the yellow ribbon.
This section was weird. That section was tough.
Yeah. I pull off and I head back to the truck. You'll see me one more time just trying to weave my way through trail systems, working my way back to the truck. But that was the end of my day. I would only do one lap in this race. And I was really hoping, not wishing, but hoping some of the competition would have a bad day as well. Every single 4x4 in the class did 3 laps except for Drew Campbell. So that was a hard one for points. I really got hurt on this one because nobody else had bad luck, just me.
Yeah, but starting where we're starting now, it's, you know, we're going to be on that lead lap every time, I think.
Yeah, and I was very proud of that. Minus myself, the entire 4x4 class stayed on the lead lap. They did full 3 laps. And if you look, we talked earlier about how NYOA has separated all the 4x4 ATVs into 2 groups. You have your utility class back in row, here's my sheet here, row 17 is your utility class, and the 4x4s are your premier class. They are in row 10.
Row 12, we start row 12 though.
Yeah, you're too hung up on that. They just number it row 10. Our race number starts with 10. You're
yeah, but we start 12th row.
It's 11.
It says right there.
Double A is 0.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, doesn't matter. 10th row is what we're just going to call it. Keep it easy. I want to point out Guns breaks his front diff right here. Really hard to tell. He had to give me the timestamp on his video to let me know where he had the problem. He was coming up that hill and hit a couple of whooped out spots, just hard bumps. And we now know today he diagnosed the problem. He broke his front drive shaft coming from the engine to his front differential. And you can hear him say, holy crap, right there, because he is stuck in 2-wheel drive right now.
Yep.
And can probably hear a lot of noise from a spinning drive shaft, not connected anymore. And his camera's screwing up. So he's got some issues out there. But he does well. He does all 3 laps. He just has to do it in 2-wheel drive. And for those of you who don't ride the 4x4, Mike, break down to us what it's like to drive one of these in 2-wheel drive.
It is not fun. You know, it's a big machine, a lot of weight. The 4-wheel drive helps us push through a lot of stuff.
Like corners.
Yes, and you know, on the hill climbs, it's tough. You know, that 4-wheel drive really helps you get up the hill faster.
So
and it obviously hurts Guns because I wound up getting past him again.
Yeah, you caught him.
And then, you know, right at the finish line, I happen to look back and I see him coming. I'm like, oh, I gotta push it here.
Now, I do believe if Guns didn't have anything wrong with the machine and he just put it into 2-wheel drive, he could probably still race fairly quick. But he was in conservation mode, not knowing what was wrong with his machine. It was making noise because, like I said, he snapped an axle. The drive shaft coming from the engine to the front differential completely broke in half. So you have to imagine the noise that's going to make, the vibration you're going to feel in the handlebars. There's going to be a lot wrong. Hey, it's me.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. So he was.
I gotta check on you, man. I gotta check on you.
I appreciate that. I wasn't about to come out race you again. I was running on one lung. Drew! Hi, Dustin. Sorry for hitting you earlier. So I can imagine that Guns was fighting through a lot of, you know, what ifs, and he didn't want to hurt his machine further. So he kind of backed it down, I feel like, and took it easy to conserve his race.
And I gotta say, this track was so rough. I've never seen so many broken quads on the side of the track ever. I mean, there had to be 75.
Look at this line, Dustin. Stay right over trees.
Yo, just take the trees out, bro.
What do you say? Go, bro, go.
Go, bro. Them 4-wheel drives, they go right over trees, too.
I know. Dustin, the only Outlander in the field, he's got more fenders than anybody else.
Dude, and he caught me, and I was just... I couldn't even stay with him on that thing. I was whooped.
Barnes Racing, he and I are your longest 4x4 competitors in the NYOA series.
He's been there a while.
He's been there longer than me. When I first signed up in 2018, I was looking through the lineup and I saw this old guy. At the time, he was 43. Now I'm 43. And I was like, oh, I got his number. Then I started racing and I realized how fast he is.
Oh, look at that running order.
Yeah, we show you the end of lap 2 here because I am going to wrap up this video. Later in the race, Dustin's camera started to tilt forward and offer a beautiful shot of his handlebars instead of the racetrack. His rear view camera dies. So we're going to wrap up the race footage with this one. Not much left in the second half of this race. We got Kelly Cam right now on the side of the track showing all of our top 10 guys coming by. I showed more of round 1. Obviously, I won it, so I wanted to show the finish there. But there isn't much going on. Once we got spaced out the first half of the race, the second half of the race, everybody just kind of stayed there. The only one that really made... Hey, Kelly, that's me. The only one that really made moves was Rich Drave. After his first lap, Rich Drave goes from 11th up to 4th, and he stays there for the remainder.
Rich Drave has the same problem you do.
Which is?
With your handlebars.
Oh,
so I just ordered him a new pitman arm.
Oh, you got him a pitman arm.
Yeah.
Nice. So this is actually my footage. I was able to get back to the truck and changed in time. You guys are coming around for lap 2. There's a shot of Barone coming in. This is you guys finishing up lap 2. And I made it back up to the top corner for a cool shot of lap 3. This is everybody finishing. Your leader, Colin Markowski, followed by Brian Brockhart from Quebec, Canada. He finished second. He finished second today on a fairly stock Can-Am. Very impressive ride. Third place, I gotta applaud Colton Harkness. Great ride, man.
Good race, bud.
Great ride. Rich Drave, the farmer, 87 years old, no hair on his head.
It's amazing.
Jeez. Frank Aquinos.
The Italian
Your
stallion.
paisan. Keister. Keister's so excited for a 6, and I'm happy for him, giving the horns on the way by. And Dustin Carnes, that silly monkey. That quad is a beast. And the day rider, Brad Streeter. Nice job with an 8th place. Pretty sure he's got fat tires out back too. Nice place, Barone, with the thumbs down. You weren't happy with that one, hey, buddy?
No, terrible, bud.
Guns, see the power slide in 2-wheel drive. No roost coming off those front tires. He was stuck in 2-wheel drive. So we're going to bring it in for the finish. Colin Markowski's your winner. There's your top 5. Brockhart, Harkness, Drave, and Aquino. There's a couple guys way in the back. Barone in 9th, Campbell in 14th. Not our best races. Yeah, but that was Between the Trees, round 2, NYOA. I want to thank BBR for putting up the $100 to give away. I'm Drew Campbell on behalf of Mike Barone. We thank you guys for watching. We'll see you at the races.
Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need to keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong.